The 15th edition of Garmin Titan Desert will commence in Bulmandades in the Moroccan part of the Atlas Mountains. Mountains are once again the main feature of the race for 2020, with two potent stages over the opening 2 days. From stage 3 onwards, the Garmin Titan Desert will hit the desert and visit new areas. 639 kilometers, 7,649 meters of uphill gradient, a navigation day, and a large pass through the dunes will make up the first event of the new decade. It's a truly unique Garmin Titan Desert of 2020. The Garmin Titan Desert begins here, a mountain stage with a fast opening part alongside the riverbed before attacking the climb to the highest point of the day. It's at this point where the Skoda Challenge of this year's event takes place. After that, a steep descent leaves us at the foot of the north face of the mountain. It is here where the route changes and the competitors enter a narrow track between villages and the odd isolated house. On the exit of this area, we enter the riverbed, riding within a spectacular canyon for approximately 4 kilometers. This will certainly be one of the really unforgettable sights of this Garmin Titan Desert. This is followed by a rather technical section featuring some water, and then the final part of the day, a continuous up and down section coming back to the starting area. It's a remarkable start to the race in terms of both scenery and kilometers covered. The Great Mountain Stage, with a start that's fast and somewhat classic in the history of Garmin Titan Desert. The stage is split up into 2 major ascents and descents along the Moroccan Sahara. That will be crossed from north to south, witnessing lunar-like landscapes, sloping tracks and some very steep ridges. It's a route which runs mostly along stony tracks, with the exception of the last few kilometers where, after crossing a canyon, there is a large plateau where camp will be set up. It will be an epic journey, a challenge for all of the cyclists, and a stage that will leave an impression on everybody. It's a super stage for this opening part of Garmin Titan Desert 2020. The first sector of the marathon stage. It's a total change of landscape and a short day kilometers-wise compared with other stages, but it will enter the desert. This is totally unprecedented. The Titan Desert has never gone so far south and has never before touched the Algerian border near Trafraut. The day will begin with fast, although somewhat rocky tracks, and later head into a large wadi. Upon leaving the wadi, there are long tracks with few differences and a well marked out route until reaching a large dried up lake, which is to be crossed in a southeasterly direction. The camp will be placed on a large esplanade, surely hosting what will be the most special night of the event. The second sector of the marathon stage. It's a long stage with some sandy parts and landscapes typical of the Moroccan region. After the start, the surface is in good condition until reaching the entrance to a well-known canyon on these desert routes, the Marsh Pass. Once on the other side of the canyon, the landscape changes. There's areas of sand, camel grass and stony sectors. The race takes a northerly direction to approach a mining area which crosses through the middle of another canyon, and this is very rocky. Once out of the canyon, there's some tracks familiar from previous editions of the race until arriving at the foot of the dunes. This section gradually improves until it becomes very rapid. The imposing dunes of Untitled await us for the next stage, and they're also our companion in the camp. The Garmin stage. It's a loop stage around the Untitled dunes with a relocated start-finish area. After a quick departure, competitors are tasked with a dune passage of about 4 kilometers. The Garmin stage is a tour around the dunes in a mountainous area with ridges, canyons and rocky parts. Riders need to search for the best route to reach all checkpoints and hydration stations, relying totally on their navigational abilities, with no visual markers. In the last part, there's a long track heading north, surrounded by the edge of the dunes and leading back to where it all started. With this difficult layout and riders depending solely on a few waypoints, fatigue will be an issue. For the final stage of Garmin Titan Desert 2020, it will be an unforgettable day for all those who reach the finish. It's a different stage to the usual final setting. It heads north, entering a mountainous area which needs to be tackled en route to a very rocky plain. Following a descent on a good but very sandy slope, we will enter a tremendous track that has been badly broken up by large vehicles which frequent the area. Not long before the finish, competitors must cross a river with a strong current. One last obstacle to overcome before crossing that elusive finish line.